Well, we are coming close to the end of our Remembrance Day coverage here on CP24 Breakfast, but our coverage continues throughout the morning, and we have a Remembrance Day special kicking off at 10:30 this morning. And to preview some of that coverage right now is Lieutenant Colonel James J. Stalker, who has been a guest now for 4 years on our Remembrance Day coverage. So Lieutenant Colonel, good to see you again this morning. Thanks for being here. You know, when you look back at this is the fourth time you've joined us here on Remembrance Day. I wonder what it's like for you to be able to sort of share with our audience Remembrance Day, your thoughts and feelings on such a significant day as a member of the Canadian military.
Well, Nick, first of all, just thanks for having me back again. It's an honor, a pleasure, and I would say it is both a privilege, a pleasure, and a responsibility of those of us in uniform to share our reflections with the broader public. Yeah. And likewise, when I see the outpouring of support from that public on events like Remembrance Day, like today, it's very heartening.
We've already seen, of course, a couple of sunrise ceremonies. We've also seen the situation outside Sunnybrook Veterans Centre, the Operation Raise a Flag, and there are more ceremonies to come. We're going to be focusing, of course, on the Old City Hall cenotaph, etc. But what do you make of the fact that this isn't just a one-time half-hour ceremony, you know, at 10:30 to 11, etc., but you see it during the morning, mid-morning, and then into that noon hour here, that it's marked throughout the day?
I think to me it shows both the level, breadth, and depth of support that veterans enjoy from Canadian society, and that those roots, that strong drive to remember, remain strong. And I think to me it's an antidote to cynicism to see that outpouring of support from the population, and the fact that it's not just, as you say, one event, but rather a series.
How do you feel on a morning like this when you put on your uniform and you put on your medals and you sort of prepare yourself not only to be part of our broadcast here on CP24, but just the fact that this is Remembrance Day, such a significant day for you and the career path you've chosen?
I think every Remembrance Day, when you wear your finery, put your medals on, there's always a bit of a moment of pause and to remember what this is really about, which is really at its core is honoring those who made the ultimate sacrifice to give me the life that I enjoy. And if I can take a small part in continuing that act of remembrance, then I'm honored to do so.
Is there a particular part of the ceremony, and again, we're going to focus pretty significantly on the Old City Hall cenotaph, is there a particular part of that ceremony that you look forward to or sort of anticipate more than any other on a day like this?
Well, the ceremony has remained remarkably similar over the years, and I think that's one of its strengths. We go through these same rhythms and patterns every year. They become quite familiar, and you start to look out for them. I think for me personally, the last post followed by the rouse, and that's really kind of the core for me of Remembrance Day, which is, you know, we fade with the sun, and then in the morning we rise in their service and carry on in their honor of those who've fallen. And that, to me, that's the most important touch point.
One of the features I like about this, and I don't know for sure that they're doing it this year, but the fact that they reflect, you know, the Canadian military uniforms and soldiers from the different wars and battles that have been fought throughout, you know, the last 100+ years or so here. I love the significance of that, because you can see the evolution of our military's evolution of the uniform, and a sort of evolution. I mean, it's gone from just men fighting to men and women, and it's really, you see kind of the whole gamut of where the military is.
That's right. And that evolution, I think, is really critical. And I think you've put your finger on it, which is we're just a continuation. We're a continuation of those who served in years past, in wars past, in different uniforms past. And there's a continuance to today.
Okay. And of course, today, 80 years since the end of the Second World War. How does that strike you? When this is not a surprise to you, but what do you make of that?
I think it drives home to me the critical importance of forging individual relationships and hearing the stories of those who served in that conflict. As we round now 80 years past, and we consider that even the very youngest veterans who served in that campaign are now, or that war I should say, are now in their late 90s or 100. We have precious few years to forge those connections.
Perhaps only some 3,000 or so remaining here in Canada.